Thank you very much for staying with us. You're watching Politics Tonight, digging beyond the headlines. And tonight we're getting Senator Osita Izunaso's position on the 10th National Assembly and how the APC zoning formula is stirring disagreement. Now, distinguished, some of the lawmakers argued that the APC cannot impose leaders on the National Assembly. How will you react to this?
Yeah, but this is the same thing we are talking about, Jumoke. I'm telling you that APC will not impose National Assembly leadership, and they have not imposed National Assembly leadership. They made many recommendations, which they are calling for further and better consultation. So I don't want to agree that they are imposing National Assembly leadership. They cannot impose National Assembly leadership. How can they impose? The current chairman of All Progressive Congress himself is a senator. The national deputy chairman, not himself, is a senator. National secretary of our party is a senator. So it is not possible. They will not impose candidates. They know the procedure. They know how it is done. The only thing you can do is to advise your party members to toe this line after due and proper consultation. Then they will go and toe the line according to how the party wants them to do it. But if you want to impose candidates, then people will say no, because it is not democratic. And don't forget that the whole idea of executive legislature is the issue of check and balances, separation of powers. Where the powers of the executive stop, the powers of legislature begins. So legislature cannot, even before commencement of the assembly, concede that particular thing that is supposed to be theirs. Election of its presiding officers. They can't concede it to anybody. It's an exercise that they have to do themselves in the hallowed chambers of the Senate and the House of Representatives. So that is why I'm telling you that the party cannot impose. I don't see our party imposing candidates on anybody. They will not. They will not. If you listen to the chairman, when some senators met him some few days ago, he told them categorically that they should go to the floor of the Senate. He even advised them to meet other political parties like PDP, Labour, and all the rest of them. You know, for the first time, we have about 6 to 7 political parties having senators elect. So he now advised, look, you have to also extend their consultation to other political parties because they also have votes. It's one man, one vote on the floor of the Senate. So if you are asking, if National Chairman is advising everybody to go and consult, and even consult beyond APC, then why would you think that he would want to impose a candidate on the senators? No. He has not imposed, and I can assure you.
Is there any danger, distinguished, is there any danger in throwing this contest open?
No, there's no danger in throwing it open. Thank you for raising that. You can throw it open, and the senators will do what they want to do. But because of Section 14, Sub 3 of 1999 Constitution as amended, the party will now zone so that every aspect of the country will have a fair share of the positions within the government. So it's advisable for the party to zone, advisable. But whereby the party fails to zone, then they can throw it open. But if they zone and zone it well, I can assure you that party members, being loyal party members, will abide by it.
All right, then. So some analysts are also of the view that the race for the Senate presidency is less rancorous than that of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. How true is this?
Well, you know, in the Senate, we have only 109 members. The House of Representatives have about 360. So it is supposed to be less rancorous in the Senate than the House of Reps, because there are many. Whenever there are many people like that, they are bound to do what they're doing. So that's why some people will say that the Senate is the upper chamber. So, but that does not mean that in the Senate we are not looking at these issues. We're looking at this, but from a different style. We're looking at it in a more matured way, in a manner that nobody will accuse anybody of anything, because we believe that we are all elected to serve our country. Once you are sworn in, you are being sworn in as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. nobody will swear me in as senator representing Imo West. So that is why you can see the senators are taking it easy, managing themselves. But the discussions are going on. They're meeting every day. Dialogue, we're going on. People are talking. That is why I'm saying that at the end of the day, it will be resolved in a manner that Nigerians will be proud of the 10th Senate. I can assure you that. But what is happening in the House of Representatives, I'm not condemning it because it's also a democratic exercise where people have to vent whatever they believe in. But because there are many, so they have to do it because we also told that they set up a committee to look at some of these things, from the greater majority to the joint committee. All those things are also taking place in the Senate, but in a very subtle manner that you won't even know that they exist. But they happen because we meet every day. There's no day that I won't attend up to 4 meetings.
So going by how all of this is looking, do you foresee a situation where candidates other than the party's choice emerged at both chambers if APC failed to manage this well?
Well, the opposition party have assured us that they are not going to field any candidate. And we have taken that as a commitment from the opposition party. You know, in the Senate, out of the 109 senators elect, the opposition party have 50. PDP, Labour, and the rest have 50. APC, 59. But because I told you we are dialoguing, they have assured us that they are not going to field any candidate for presiding officer's position because by convention, it is the party that have the majority that should field candidates for presiding officer's position. So they have already assured us that they won't do that. So that is taken already to the bank. So the next thing is who will they support? And who will APC senators elect support? So we don't even have a very comfortable majority. It's not something we can say, well, APC must do it alone. It can't do it alone. The other people have 50 senators elect. We have 59. And you require 55 to elect a Senate president. 55 in number. They have 50. We have 59. So it's quite close. So it is something that we have to manage well. We have to manage them, manage their own tendencies, and manage our own party and our own tendencies. So it is not something that you will do as if you don't know that the other people are there. They're there, watching. But I want to commend them because they have given us a commitment that they're not going to field anybody. So also in the House of Representatives, the opposition have given a commitment that they're not going to field any candidate on the floor of both chambers. So, which means that they are respecting the mere fact that it is the party with majority that should fill these positions.
So, the Southeast has expressed displeasure over the decision to exclude the zone from the calculations, apart from Benjamin Kalu. How would you react to this?
Well, you know, I told you that I don't believe in the zoning because the zoning have not been done. But even what has already been done, they haven't treated the Southeast fairly. I don't want to be talking about ethnic issues here, but the Southeast deserve far more than what was given to them. The Southeast should be given the position of the Senate President. That's what they deserve. They don't deserve anything less than Senate President. And I have my figures. I can tell you why the Southeast deserve that. I'm a founding member of the APC. We founded the party. Today in the Southeast, are you aware that we have 6 APC senators? Has it ever happened before? When we started in 2015, we didn't even have 1 APC senator. Today we have 6. Today, APC is the majority party in the Southeast. We have 2 governors, Imo and the Ebonyi. Apuga 1, Labour 1, and PDP 1. Are you aware that today in the Southeast, PDP have only 1 senator elect? Only 1 senator elect, Enugu West. So out of the 15 senators in the Southeast, APC 6, Labour 6, YPP 1, Apuga 1, PDP 1. So Southeast is embracing APC far better than they did in the last 2 elections. So Southeast, even if they didn't vote as much as you expected them to vote, they should also be encouraged. They should be encouraged. Don't forget the P2B factor. It was a major factor in that election. A major factor. There was no P2B in the South-South. South didn't have any presidential candidate. If they had a presidential candidate, the story would have been different. Does that mean that you are going to exclude South in sharing things? But today, Southeast have not benefited. That is why we're saying, give it to Southeast. South have had President of Nigeria, President Goodluck Jonathan. They have also had Vice President under PDP, Goodluck Jonathan, Vice President to President Yar'Adua. Southwest have had President Obasanjo. They have had Vice President Oshibanjo, and today President Bola Tinubu. So where lies the equity? Where lies the justice we're talking about? So Southeast should be compensated with this Senate President. It's not something too big, because will you want to exchange Vice President with Senate President? Some people used to make some arguments on television that Southeast have produced Senate President. By the time you are talking about Southeast producing Senate President, other zones have produced President and Vice President. South in question have also produced President and Vice President. Southeast, after producing Senate President, have produced nothing again. So it is the responsibility of the party to look at equity, to look at fairness, to look at justice. That's why I'm telling you that the party is still consulting. It's consulting. And besides that, you also have to look at the capacity of the individuals who want to be Senate President. You have to look at capacity. I'm not dealing with only the issue of zoning to Southeast, because it is the turn of Southeast really to have the Senate President. It's their turn. I can assure you that it's
Distinguished.
If you look at the statistics in APC.
Before we get to capacity, now, are these statements born out of feelings of being marginalized?
Yes, that is what I'm telling you, that if you look at the charter of APC when we formed APC, APC was anchored on 4 points: equity, justice, fairness, and unity of the country. So if you want equity and justice, it should be given to Southeast. I don't want to say that Southeast is marginalized or not marginalized. No part of this country should marginalize. No part of this country, I don't want any part of this country to be marginalized. I believe that every part of this country should be given a fair share of federal appointments, a fair share of federal positions, because it is even enshrined in our Constitution. So it is even constitutional for everybody to be fair and equitable in distribution of federal appointment and positions. So the issue of APC being marginalized is there, but I don't want to stress it too much, because I believe that our party knows exactly what to do.
All right, so if you can hear me again, what's your agenda for the Senate if you become the Senate President? Distinguished.
Well, if I become the Senate President, first of all, we have to work towards developing a legislative agenda for the 10th Senate. And how do you develop a legislative agenda? You look at all those things that concerns the country most at this point in time. I've always said that the Senate and indeed the National Assembly requires rebranding. We have to rebrand. And there are some faces you must need to rebrand. There are some faces you don't need to rebrand with. Then when we rebrand, we look at issues of national unity and national cohesion, extremely important. We also look at the security situation in the country. Before it used to be Northeast, today Northwest is involved, Southeast is involved, a lot of places. We have to look at the security situation as part of the legislative agenda for the 10th Senate. We have to look at the issues of economy. Why is Naira and dollar at the rate they are now? What is going on? We have to look at the economy, the issue of economy. We have to look at the issue of youth unemployment. We have to go into the statistics to know how many youths are even unemployed in Nigeria. So you have to work on the legislative agenda. There must be a committee to fashion out a legislative agenda for the 10th Senate. And when that is done, and we're even going to involve the public in working out this agenda for the 10th Senate. So when that is done, then we'll make laws, we'll have motions, pass motions and bills targeted towards the agenda that we have set for ourselves. So that is what I think should be the beginning. If we want to have a robust National Assembly, we must look at what do Nigerians want at this point in time? What is going on in our polity. Are they happy? If they're not happy, what can we do to make Nigeria a better place for all of us?
So I know you're not the only Southeasterner vying for this position. I mean, the likes of Orji Uzor and yourself were being considered for the job. What's the situation now?
Well, Senator Orji Uzor, yes, I'm aware he's vying for the position, and I can tell you that we're not quarreling. Orji Uzor is eminently qualified to vie for the position, but I'm saying that I'm more qualified. The others are qualified, but I'm more qualified, having come from the House of Representatives to the Senate, and having been a founding member of APC. Those of us that founded this party, we know about this party. We know the rudiments of this party. Most of the people who are talking about being Senate President now just joined us from 2-3 years ago. Well, I'm a founder of the party. I know everything about the party. We wrote the party constitution, the party manifesto, everything. When Governor Fashola was governor of Lagos, he chaired the APC strategy committee, and I was the secretary. We did that project for about 18 weeks, moving from Abuja to Lagos every Tuesday. So I know about APC more than every other person. So if there is anybody that should be Senate President this time around, it is me. It is me. Because I understand the party. I understand the legislature. If it is an executive job, I can concede to the former governors because it's an executive team, but this is legislature. They should concede to me. They should concede to me.
So, distinguished, let's just say this plan scales through. What do you think can be done to remedy the situation for the Southeast in the incoming administration?
Yeah, what should be done is to allow the Southeast to produce the Senate President. If that happens, it will remedy a whole lot of things. It will douse tension. It will remedy things. I can assure you that. It will remedy things. If you don't want to look at it from that perspective, then you are not being fair. But if you are being fair, you have to look at it from that perspective. Because this country belongs to all of us. Everybody must be given a fair sense of belonging. So I believe that the party will do the right thing at the appropriate time. We'll still have
You didn't get my question.
We still have like 3 or 4 weeks to go. Yeah, please.
You didn't get my question. Let me repeat myself.
Repeat
In the event that this plan scales through, I mean, the party maintains its position. What do you think can be done to remedy the situation for the Southeast in the incoming administration?
No, I don't want to believe that that plan will stay through. I'm very optimistic that it will stay through. So, because that should be the best thing to be given to Southeast. That should be the best thing to be given to Southeast. So, let us be optimistic. Let's not begin to say in the event that it didn't work. When it didn't work, then when we get there, we'll cross the bridge. But I know that it will work. I know it will work. Because we're concerned.
From your point of view, what impact do you think this brewing disagreement is having on the polity?
Could you take that once more, Jumoke?
What do you think this brewing disagreement is having? What impact do you think this brewing disagreement is having on the polity?
No. There's no disagreement. People disagree in politics to agree. In fact, I can assure you that most of the people who you think are not agreeing are not even opposed to President-elect. I, for one, I will support the President-elect in his programs. The only thing we are talking about is to deepen democracy, is to say, let us play a role in who becomes the Senate President, who becomes the Deputy Senate President. Let us play a role. That's the only thing we're talking about. I don't think there's any quarrel here. There's no quarrel. There's no quarrel. I have not seen anybody since we are consulting. I have never seen any senator-elect that says that he will not cooperate with the President-elect. No. Nobody has said so.
All right, then. So,
in
because
fact, the President-elect will even have a better Senate.
All right. So because many have said this looks like the first political test for the President-elect, what do you think he should do to douse the tension?
No, I know him. He is not going to worry so much when he comes back. immediately after he's sworn in. I know he will do last lap consultation. This whole thing wouldn't take him 1 week to resolve. I can assure you he will resolve it.
All right.
We know our president-elect is a very fair-minded person, and he's a man that believes in capacity. Look at all the people that he chose from here and there to put in certain positions. These are men of capacity. So this is not a major issue for him to resolve. Once he comes back and he's sworn in, give him 2-3 days, he will resolve it. I can assure you that. He will resolve it. Because I know him. I've worked with him.
All right.
I know his capacity.
All right, then. Thank you very much, distinguished. I've been speaking with the Senator-elect for Imo West Senatorial District, Senator Osita Izunaso, for discussion of the 10th National Assembly and how the APC zoning formula is stirring disagreements. Thank you very much, Senator Izunaso, for sharing your positions with us on the show tonight. Thank you very much.